Welcome back to the Cumbie Show. We tell like it is and we don't care how you feel. And the Georgia Bulldogs got some great news today. Today is Monday the 18th. That news is that Carson Beck is going to return for the 2024 football season. He's going to hold off on the NFL draft for one more season, and he's coming back to play another year, his final year for the Georgia Bulldogs. Obviously, this is great news. Carson Beck had almost 4,000 yards on the season. He's sitting at 3,738 to be exact, so potentially in the Orange Bowl against Florida State, he could hit the 4,000 mark. He's sitting at like 22 touchdowns, top 25 in almost every quarterback rating. I think he had an 87 QBR, something around there, number 7th in the country. Guy's phenomenal. And that was in his first and only year starting for the Georgia Bulldogs. I don't think it can be put into words how beneficial this is for Georgia Bulldogs going into next season with the gauntlet that they have. They go on the road to play Alabama, Texas, Ole Miss. They play Clemson in a neutral site. They still have to play Florida in Jacksonville. I've got their schedule right here. They play Kentucky, Auburn, Tennessee. I mean, it's a gauntlet next year. So with a leader in Carson Beck and the experience that he has, being able to come back, having a full offseason as a starter, another year under Mike Bobo, being a much more vocal leader, I think this is huge for Georgia. I think that says a lot about their mindset for next season. I think this is going to be probably one of the biggest decisions a player is going to make in the offseasons for Georgia Bulldogs. I think that sets up well for Carson Beck to potentially be the Heisman favorite going into next season. Potentially the number one quarterback taken off the board next season. I know Jalen Milroe is coming back for Alabama. I don't think Jalen Milroe is a good quarterback. I think he is good enough, but I think Carson Beck is better than him. We'll see. They play next season in Tuscaloosa. But the point is, just want to get on here, make a quick video. Carson Beck is coming back to play one more year for the Georgia Bulldogs. I think that is fantastic news. I think it's great. I think because if you're looking at Carson Beck, if Carson Beck were to declare for the draft and go to the NFL, go to the league, you're looking at Gunnar Stockton as your starting quarterback. And I'm not saying Gunnar Stockton is bad. I think Gunnar Stockton, I don't know how Gunnar Stockton's going to be. He could be the next greatest quarterback to ever grace this earth. We don't know. But he has no experience at this level. And with the schedule that Georgia has next season, that would be a very tall task to ask someone with no starting experience to come in and do. I mean, going on the road to Tuscaloosa, going on the road to Texas, playing Clemson in your first game in a neutral site. Like I just went through it's a tough ask to ask somebody in the position that's never started before. So I think this is a huge thing of great news for Georgia. It's going to go a long way, and I think potentially making them the favorites for next year, in my opinion. Also, we've got, I believe Quinn Ewers is coming back. Texas is going to be a solid contender next year. I think you still have to consider Alabama, obviously, with the talent they have, especially now that Jalen Milroe is coming back. But I think this is going to go a long way into helping them to succeed next season. And I'm thinking that we're going to start seeing a lot more guys make the decision to stay now that we know. Now, like I said, today is Monday night, the 18th. Shortly after this news dropped that Carson Beck was going to stay for Georgia, we got news that Dylan Raiola is officially has committed to Nebraska. He flipped his commitment from Georgia to Nebraska. That means Dylan Raiola is out. Hate to see a kid like that go. I think he is a very talented kid. I think he has the potential to be a very talented kid, quarterback in college. He's got elite level quarterback play. He does. It's the way you see him from in high school, from what we've seen. And I think he will turn out to be a really good quarterback. Who knows, though? That's just what I think. But not surprising if you look at the trend of what Dylan Raiola has done. This will be his third or fourth commitment to a college program. He has changed high school 3 times now. I think that Nebraska probably offered him a lot of money that him and I honestly kind of feel bad that I think it was more of his parents and his family doing a lot of the deciding. I think Nebraska offered him a lot of money that they could not pass up. But you got to do what you got to do. And I'm kind of confused at the situation with him choosing to go to Nebraska. Now, I get it. I understand. He has strong family ties to Nebraska. His dad played for Nebraska. His uncle coaches for Nebraska. So I get it. I truly understand why he did it. The one thing that I don't get is that he's going to go in as a true freshman. Do we really think that he can go in and play as a true freshman? And I'm just curious to see how he's going to do. We'll see. I mean, who knows? Play up there in the Big Ten, Michigan, Ohio State. Good luck is all I got to say. Kyle McCord was originally favored to go to Nebraska, and then when rumors of Dylan Raiola potentially going there, I honestly think it kind of scared Kyle McCord off. And I think he ended up at Syracuse. Kind of says a lot more about Kyle McCord than anything, a little afraid of competition. You should be able to go there and beat out a true freshman at quarterback, especially with the experiences that he has. But, oh well, not my decision. So just to completely recap what we just did, Carson Beck is staying for one more year. He will play in the 2024 schedule for Georgia. And Dylan Raiola flips his commitment from Georgia to Nebraska. Other than that, over and out.